This is 190 Vision Revisited, where reflection sparks transformation.
Welcome to the video review show. We take videos you send us and, well, we really get into them.
Yep, take a closer look.
Today we've got one from the 190 Vision YouTube channel. It's called Violet Flame Decree Explanation.
Ah, okay. So Laura and Coach from 190 Vision.
Exactly. And our plan is to, go deeper than just a summary. We want to explore the ideas they're presenting about this violet flame and the decree.
Absolutely. It's about understanding what they're putting out there, how it connects to, well, maybe broader spiritual ideas or personal growth.
So they kick things off with a pretty familiar story, Moses and the burning bush.
Right.
But Laura immediately clarifies the mountain's name. She says, it wasn't Sinai, it was Horeb. She points out it's also called the Mountain of God.
Interesting that they start with that level of detail. It kind of signals that precision matters to them even before getting into the really unusual part.
Which is the bush itself, right. On fire, but not actually burning up.
Exactly. And Laura sort of presents her view as a believer, seeing it as proof of something extraordinary. But then Coach brings in the counter perspective, how someone skeptical might just see it as impossible, defying physics.
Yeah, it's a good way to acknowledge different viewpoints right at the start.
It is.
Yeah.
And it lets them pivot to suggesting, well, maybe it wasn't physical fire Moses saw. Maybe it was something else, a spiritual flame. And that's their link to the violet flame.
Okay, so that's the transition. Let's get into that then. According to this video, what is the violet flame?
Well, they describe it as a spiritual energy. Not like the fire in your fireplace. It doesn't consume physical things.
Right.
Its purpose, Laura says, is more about dealing with spiritual negativity, getting rid of negative frequencies, maybe even entities they mention.
So like a spiritual cleanser?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a purifier. And they consciously tie it back to that burning bush idea. The idea seems to be that just like God used something reality-bending to get Moses' attention, the violet flame is this kind of force that works outside normal reality to fix spiritual problems.
Okay, so it frames it as something powerful working on a different level.
Precisely. Not just a concept, but maybe a tool linked in their interpretation anyway to these big spiritual stories.
The video then gets pretty personal with Laura sharing how she actually uses the violet flame. I think that makes it more concrete for people.
Definitely. She gives a few examples. One was visualizing it when she prepares food.
Food? Really?
Yeah, with the idea of transmuting any potential negative reactions her family might have to it.
Huh. Does she tell them she's doing this?
No, she mentions keeping it private, which is
Ooh.
interesting in itself.
It is. It suggests it's a very internal practice, maybe something you do for your own reasons without needing external validation. What else?
Well, another big one is using it to calm herself down if she's feeling, emotional or overwhelmed.
Okay, that makes sense, like a self-soothing technique.
And she also mentioned using it mentally in social situations. If she feels herself getting flustered or losing composure, she'll visualize the flame to kind of recenter herself.
So it's applied to pretty everyday situations, emotions, social interactions, even cooking.
Exactly. It roots the idea in relatable challenges.
Does she say how long she does it for?
Yeah, she says it varies. Sometimes just 30 seconds or a minute. Other times maybe up to half an hour.
30 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, but she emphasizes she does it until she feels that sense of calm return. It's not a fixed time.
So it's very much based on personal feeling, an intuitive sense of when it's done.
That seems to be the key takeaway. It's guided by your inner state, not a stopwatch. You're the judge of when the energy has done its work for that moment.
Which brings us to the decree they talk about. This seems like a core tool for 190 Vision.
Yeah, the violet flame decree.
What is it exactly?
The specific words are, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires.
Okay. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires.
And Laura breaks that down. The first I am, she explains, the one in all caps, is meant as an invocation, like calling on the presence of God.
So it's connecting to something bigger than just yourself.
That's the idea. Then the second I am, lowercase a, lowercase m, that refers to you, the individual speaker.
Right.
And it's a declaration that you embody or aspire to embody this purity that aligns with God's will. Pretty potent statement within their framework.
And they have a specific way to say it.
Laura recommends saying it in multiples of 3.
Okay, 3, 6, 9 times, etc.
Right. And she talks about building momentum, increasing the frequency by saying it faster. She compares it to Buddhist chanting or maybe saying the rosary.
So the repetition and rhythm are important. They amplify the effect somehow.
That seems to be the rationale, yeah. Building up the energy through focused repetition.
Okay, let's talk about how they say this actually works. They connect the violet flame to the energy of the Holy Spirit.
They do. They present it as maybe one aspect or function of the Holy Spirit's energy.
And what does it do?
According to the video, its functions include things like burning away karma, getting rid of non-beneficial emotions, clearing out negative energies, negative frequencies, even negative thought forms people might hold on to.
Oh, that's quite a list. It sounds like a major spiritual cleanup tool.
It really does. They actually call it a cosmic cleaner at one point.
Ah, I remember that. And didn't they also jokingly call it a cosmic drug?
Yeah, I think because of the positive feeling or shift it's supposed to bring, makes it sound a bit more approachable, maybe less heavy.
True. But they also say it's not always instant, right?
Definitely not. They use this analogy of peeling off layers, like an onion.
Okay, that's a useful image. So the negativity might be layered, and it takes time to work through it all.
Exactly. So some people might feel a shift quickly, but for others, it could be a more gradual thing, addressing stuff that's buried deeper.
So you don't necessarily get discouraged if you don't feel fireworks right away.
Right. The video suggests consistency is important, and maybe just trusting the process is working on those underlying levels, even if it's subtle at first.
All right, so we know what it is, what the decree is, how it supposedly works. But how do you actually do it? How do you visualize this flame?
They give a couple of pretty clear visualizations. One is imagining yourself standing in a shower.
Okay.
But instead of water, it's this violet flame pouring down over you, washing away all the negativity.
Huh.
They even suggest picturing it like violet-colored water, but with the properties of flame to make it more tangible.
That's quite vivid, combining the cleansing of water with the transforming power of fire, but in that violet color.
Exactly. The other main visualization is picturing yourself completely inside a sphere or a ball of violet flame.
Just enveloped in it.
And in both cases, the key is to really feel or imagine that violet energy moving through you, from your head down to your feet, taking any impurities or unwanted energy with it. It's very much about engaging your senses and imagination.
The video also mentions something about sharing experiences, particularly when you're just starting out with this. Why do they stress that?
Well, 190 Vision seems to really encourage people to share updates, talk about what happens when they start using the violet flame.
What kinds of things?
They describe the experiences as potentially interesting, but also normal within this context. The idea seems to be that sharing helps you process it, learn about yourself, learn about your environment maybe.
As part of the learning process itself.
Yeah, and they specifically say that actually doing it, having the experiences, is more valuable than just, reading books about it. Implementation is key.
Makes sense. Learn by doing. And if you, listening, want to learn more or explore this further based on the video, where does 190 Vision suggest you go?
They list quite a few places. Their 190 Vision Facebook group, their website, which is 190vision.com, the YouTube channel, which is 190 Vision.
Okay, 190. Got it.
Their Instagram account, and also an Amazon Fire channel they have. So plenty of options if people want to follow up.
All right. So wrapping up our look at this 190 Vision explanation, the violet flame is presented as this spiritual energy tied to the Holy Spirit used for purification. And it's activated through visualization like that violet shower or sphere and repeating that specific decree. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires.
Right. And the video really hammers home the importance of actually trying it, having your own experience, and being consistent. It's positioned as a practical tool.
Yeah, they offer these tools, these examples, trying to make something that could feel very abstract seem more accessible, encouraging you to experiment and see what happens for yourself.
Exactly. See if it resonates, basically.
So as you think about what Laura and Coach shared in their video, maybe consider the power of focused intention, of visualization, of these kinds of affirmations. Could practices like these play a role in your own well-being or personal growth? Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this look inside the video here on the Video Review Show.